Hey everyone, my name is Komal. Welcome back to Rice PTE. The fill in the blanks questions in the PTE reading section can be surprisingly tricky. Even the smallest mistake can affect your score. But don't worry. With the right strategies, you can confidently tackle these questions and get the results you want. In today's tutorial, we will break down the essential do's and don'ts to help you ace fill in the blanks. I will give you tips on what things you must do and what mistakes you should avoid. Before I begin, may I request you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so? Let's get started. The first crucial step in tackling the PTE reading section is to read the entire passage. Do you want to know why it matters? Because understanding the context of the passage helps you make better word choices. Skipping this step can lead to confusion and mistakes. And without understanding the context, your choice may seem correct but could disrupt the overall coherence. Let me give you an example. Let's say if the passage is about climate, right? Words related to weather, environment, or policy are likely to be correct. This first step sets the foundation for logical and accurate answers in the rest of the section. Now, let's look at the tips. Very first step is to identifying the theme of a passage is important for accurately filling in the blanks in the PTE reading section. The theme refers to main idea or central topic that ties the passage together. Here's how to identify it effectively. You have to understand, is the passage about a problem and solution, a cause and effect, a series of events? Just observe how sentences are connected. Do they describe a process, compare ideas, or explain a concept? The theme will align with this structure. Look for general statements. Second tip is to look for key phrases. It's a powerful strategy to identify the context and make informed choices in the reading section, which means highlight phrases that give clues and logical flow about the overall topic. Connections between ideas, cause, effect, or examples. By focusing on key phrases, you can better understand the structure of the passage and make more accurate choices for the blanks. Now we will look at the next point, which we shouldn't do. Don't rush through the passage in the PTE reading section. Taking a balanced approach to reading ensures better comprehension and accuracy. Let's find out why it's a problem. Because rushing makes it easy to miss important details and subtle clues, leading to incorrect answers. Without a clear grasp of how ideas connect, you might select answers that seem correct but disrupt the passage's coherence. Now we know the problem, so let's see how to avoid rushing. Break the passage into sections. Instead of tackling the full passage, concentrate on small parts and understand the whole text. Getting my point? Look for connectors and tone indicators that guide your choices. Words like however, therefore, and although can change the meaning of a sentence. By slowing down just enough to absorb the main ideas and key details, you will be more confident in selecting the correct answers. Now, let's look at this tip number 2. Second tip we should look for is logical flow. Logical flow in the PTE reading section refers to understanding how the sentences, ideas, or paragraphs in a passage are connected. Because misunderstanding the context can result in choosing words that don't fit. Let's look at the key strategies for maintaining logical flow. It is important to understand the main idea, which identifies the topic or theme of the passage or paragraph. It is important to look for clues like pronouns, which is pronouns are he, she, it, they. Transition words are however, therefore, moreover, and time references. First, then, finally. So don't forget to pay attention to cause and effect relationships or comparisons. By practicing these strategies, you can improve your ability to understand logical flow in the PTE reading section. Now let's look at the next strategy. Using grammar and sentence structure is crucial for solving fill-in-the-blanks tasks in the PTE reading section. Do you want to know why it helps? Because grammar provides clues about the type of word needed in each blank. You have to look for subject-verb agreement. Ensure that the subject and verb in the sentence match in number. Let me give you an example. If a blank follows, you know a singular noun is needed. Let's make a sentence. The cat blank on the mat. So what would be the correct verb? It would be sits or lies. So the sentence will be the cat sits on the mat or the cat lies on the mat. By focusing on grammar and sentence structure, you can confidently select the correct options in the PTE reading fill-in-the-blanks tasks. Let's understand this with 2 tips. Identifying part of speech is a critical skill for understanding sentence structure and grammar. Let me explain you parts of speech with few examples. First, I will start with noun. So a noun names a person, place, or thing. I'll give you examples. Look for the subject of the sentence. The dog is sleeping. Check for objects. I read a book. Second part of speech is verb. A verb is a word that expresses an action or an occurrence. Let's look examples. She runs every morning. This sentence describes an action. She is a doctor. This sentence is describing an occurrence or a state of being. Third is an adjective. It's a word that provides more information. It answers questions such as what kind, how many, or how much. I'll give you 2 examples. She wore a beautiful dress. He ate 5 apples. Okay, now let's look at the second tip. In the PTE reading section, subject-verb agreement questions often involve spotting grammatical consistency because the subject and the verb. It refers to the rule. Let's say if the subject is singular, the verb must also be singular. If the subject is plural, then the verb must be plural. I'll give you some examples of sentences based on different rules. Singular subject plus singular verb. I'll give you examples. The dog barks at strangers. Second is, she enjoys reading books. Now, next thing you should not avoid is grammar rules. In the PTE reading fill-in-the-blanks section, grammar rules, especially subject-verb agreement, are critical for selecting the correct word. One of the most common grammar mistakes in PTE reading section is choosing incorrect word forms in fill-in-the-blank questions. This occurs when the wrong part of speech, which is noun, verb, adjective, or adverb is selected. Now we'll look at the incorrect word forms. So using running instead of runs. Misplaced modifiers. Using quick instead of quickly. So double check, ensure your choice fits the sentence structure. You should double check by ensuring your choice fits the sentence structure. The other tip, we should look for collocation and common phrases. Now you might be thinking, what are collocations? So collocations are words that naturally go together. Let's understand it with some examples. We make a decision. You getting my point? We make a decision. We don't do a decision. Understand? Similarly, We take a break. We don't have a break. Let's look at the common word pairs that goes together. For example, bread and butter, that goes together. Salt and pepper, that also goes very well together. Let's look at the next strategy. Don't choose words in isolation, which means when selecting words, for example, for writing, speaking, or analyzing, it is essential to consider their context. And do you want to know why it matters? A word that seems right on its own might not fit the surrounding text. I'll give you an example. Let's say we are describing a building, okay? So, tall fits better than high. We will say the building is tall. We won't say the building is high. That won't sound right, yeah? Similarly, when we are talking about weather, we will say heavy rain. We wouldn't say big rain. Using logic and common sense in the PTE reading fill-in-the-blank section involves analyzing the context and applying reasoning to find the most appropriate word for each blank. Think it through. Sometimes the simplest and most logical word is the right one. I'll give you an example. He felt tired, blank. He decided to go to bed early. So the word so logically fits here. The sentence will be, he felt tired, so he decided to go to bed early. By combining logic with an understanding the overall context, you will improve your accuracy in the reading section. Let's look at the next strategy. Don't overthink simple blanks. It can lead to confusion and waste your time. Here's how to avoid it. Overthinking can lead to second-guessing yourself. Just trust your first instinct. If the sentence is simple, the answer likely won't require any deep analysis. Getting my point? If all the options seem familiar, choose the one that fits naturally. So, choosing commence instead of start when start fits perfectly. Choosing a correct answer because it feels too easy. And there you have it, the essential do's and don'ts for fill in the blanks in the PTE reading section. By understanding the context, following grammar rules, and using logic, you will improve your chances of selecting the correct answers. Practice these strategies regularly, and you will be well on your way to a higher PTE score. Good luck with your preparation. Bye-bye.